Ibaka. And we're going to be doing a tarot card reading to begin with, and then we're going to go into the past life regression session. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, Lord, my cards are all mumbled jumbled. So I guess I'm going to pull, my God say, to pull a card from both decks. Uh-oh, let's fix this.
Hi, we're redecorating our home, and what is this?
Don't mess with the key. I just try to kind of put some background music. Hey, at least it kept playing. It falls behind the couch. I try to do some background music like towards Gage's room. That way some sound does come through. Maybe it'll kind of drown it out. Because he is really loud when he's on Xbox. Okay. So first I'm going to pull from the Golden Dawn. I'm actually, when I first got this deck, I've had it for a few years. It was really hard to work with because it's got a lot of Kabbalistic words in it that I had no idea how to pronounce. But I'm getting a little better at it now. And it's really good in-depth information. Okay, so there's that one. And then Shapeshifter Tarot. My cat's looking around like, where the hell is that music coming from? It's like I hear it, but I don't see anything. He looks so funny. Oh, Lord, these are all... What the crap? They are the right way down. Yes. Yeah, so in his reading, I immediately pull the Sun card. And then as I'm turning to the page for the Sun card, the High Priestess card just ends up in my hand. Like, neither one of us knew how the hell it got there. And this was from the Golden Dawn. Well, then I be down the Shapeshifter Tarot. I pulled the exact same two cards. And in the Shapeshifting Tarot, he is a half bird man, half human, just like Horus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting. Hi, Morgan. He is all interested in what I'm doing. Okay. Huh? Yeah. Okay, there's my books. Ow, don't bite me. There's a random card. I guess that's for us too. Always finding random cards in the middle of my tarot card. Oh, check out my super cute Mother's Day cup Joe got me. It says unicorn water.
Oh my God, that looks super cute.
And it's got like glitter in it that moves around. I love it. And he got me this card that's like literally 3 foot tall. Like, it is huge. Okay, so. Ooh, we got the Hermit. So that is what the Hermit card looks like. I wish I knew how to like pull it up.
That's strange because I've been getting that. Like I've been getting that lately.
I know there's some way to pull it up like as a picture on it, but I don't know how to do it, so screw it. Okay, the Hermit, Major Arcana. Oh, 9. That's a good number. Oh, that's right. With his Book of the Golden Dawn, it was the Hierophant, and then the High Priestess, and then with the Shapeshifter, it was the High Priestess, which is the Sorceress, and then the Sun card.
Oh, wow.
8th. Okay. 9th key, the 20th path, the Hermit. The magical title of this card is Mangus of the Voice of Light, the Prophet of the Gods. The path of the Hermit leads to Terfith, to Chesed. It is the mercy of beauty and the magnificence of sovereignty, Jupiter acting through Virgo upon soul. He represents communication between the higher self to the etherical triad and the spiritual self to the supernal triad. The Hermit is symbolized by the Crux in the Golden Dawn ritual, who is Anubis, ultimately a lower form of Hermes Thoth, messenger to the gods. The Crux is the light bearer, the shower of the way to hidden knowledge. The Hermit is attributed to Virgo and thus contains the concept of sexual love in unmanifested or virginal state. It is reinforced by the fact that Yod, the Hebrew letter given to the Hermit, is Phalaic. Yod is the father fire letter of the tetragrammaton. It is also, oh my God, stop it. It is also related, it is also related to Kether because it is the basic digit that when drawn forms to the rest of the Hebrew alphabet. God also represents the Logos, the word of power which links the lower self to the higher through vibration. The hand, Yod, I'm going to show it one more time. See, it's got the Hebrew in his hand. Okay. The hand, Yod, of the Hermit is that which reaches down to help the initiate. The Hermit is the master magician, very old and very wise. He is the supreme will, concealed in robes of darkness and mystery. We may only know him by striving ever towards the summit, reaching his outreached hand, attuning ourselves to the vibration. He has the qualities of both fire, Yod, and earth, Virgo. Thus, he represents the beginning and the end of the elements in the Tetragrammaton. This is symbolized by the serpent at his feet that holds its tail in its mouth. The Hermit's lamp contains the Yod, from which the light flows out into all places and dimensions. This is the sacred light of LVX, which cuts through the darkness and initiates creation. Okay, interpretation in the tarot. Wisdom sought for and attained from above. Divine inspiration, but as active opposed to that of the lovers. It is the mystical titles. This with the Hierophant and the Magician are the three Magi's. Very interesting.
Interesting.
Okay, I'll be dang. The Sun. I bet I can read this one pretty easy. And then I think this last one that kind of just appeared on its own, we'll do it after this session because I think it's going to kind of give us some guidance on it. Okay. 19 Major Arcana. And I shuffled those really good, by the way. The Sun. Traditional cards, the Sun. Keywords, creativity, teamwork, and achievement. Description. Shape-shifting griffin man stands on a perch of rocky ground, woven with the roots of the tree of life, suspending in the air with golden sunbeams shooting out in all directions like bright fields of knowledge. A creature of enormous power, the griffin man looks part human, tamed, part lion, wild, and part magical winged beast, spirit ally. Folklore says that the griffin builds its nest in the mountains and lines it with gold. symbolizing the combining of energies of the earth and sky. The sun acts as a source of unlimited energy here on earth. While its true nature is that of a star, the sun embodies the collective intelligence of the universe and affects all life on our planet. It makes things visible. The smiling shapeshifter holds the brilliant sun in his hands, symbolizing the partnership of nature, humankind, and the cosmos. He holds many diverse forms of knowledge embodied in the sun, representing perfect balance of the conscious and unconscious, the masculine and the feminine. His serpentine tail represents ancient truths. A long seagull in flight is pictured in the foreground, prophecy. While helping you understand the balance of energies and successful combinations, the Sun card represents humankind's hand in creativity, teamwork, and cooperation. This is a card of creativity and the eternal flame, indicating that the burning inner fire of creativity and mental prowess, good relationships and energized partnerships, material happiness, and attainment come with personal effort. Achievements in all fields of study, especially those that bring darkness to light, are favored. The Sun is a card of motivation and liberation, where you seek out your own enlightenment, finding your personal path to oneness.
Wow.
Such a cool card.
Yeah.
So anything that stuck out to you in that? You said you had been seeing the Hermit a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since everything that's happened, I take it you've probably been staying in more so than usual.
Sorry?
With everything that's happened, have you been staying inside more so than usual?
Yeah, I was actually staying inside for some time, but then I actually had work. I started,
Right.
like, I think I was just going back and forth to work and home. Like, I didn't go anywhere, not even to the supermarket or whatever, but for the past few days, I have been traveling and everything has been back to normal. But yesterday, I just decided to go and, like, get a head massage from the salon that's near my house, and the road was pretty empty because it was like Lord Buddha's birthday, right? Like, as I told you.
Right.
So I think everyone was a bit intimidated and they were anxious of what might happen. Like, there might be another attack, right? So
Right.
everyone was inside the house, and I walk out, and then this man starts to follow me, and he's like trying to get me inside his vehicle.
Right.
And it was actually pretty scary because there wasn't anybody, but like something said that I can handle it by myself, whatever happens.
Right. You're very protected.
Yeah.
I've had a similar situation happen, and it is really scary. I was working at a gas station that's right before you get to the military base. Well, on this part of the road, there's no street lights. And I was closing up, and I went out for like my last smoke break. And these two guys from the Nissan dealership, I know this because they were some of my regulars, tried to pull me in their car. And it was so scary. I ended up quitting like 3 or 4 days later because I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It was so
and
scary.
I think it was almost like something got into me, and I started to scream at him, and I just and he kind of got intimidated. Like at first I was like kind of yelling, but he didn't really care about it. But then it was almost like I just got this voice saying he can't do anything to me.
Right.
And there was this like sudden rush of energy, and I just went at him, and he kind of like got freaked out, and he left. And even while going back from the salon, like there was a gang of boys, and they were like, this boy, I think he was like aiming for my butt or whatever, but it actually like this stone hit my thigh and I got bruised, and I was like really mad. I mean, since there are no people around, all these like predators are like out there in the open.
Right.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a curfew or something going on, or just people are choosing?
Yeah. They're like, it depends. Like it really depends on the police, because sometimes there are like riots in certain places. It's like racial tensions, and then they impose a curfew from like 9 to 9 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Right.
But like I think even that situation is getting a bit better now, but there's still some racial tension going around.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you are ready,
Yeah.
find a spot that is in front of you that you can stare at without blinking, and we'll start the induction.
Oh, wait, I want to know. Wait,
Okay.
so can I? So you said that you're Isis, the goddess Isis, right?
Yes.
How did you find it? Was it through past life?
It was one of my past lives, yes. I've told you about the crazy visions I had when I first started waking up in 2014. Well, that was one of them that came to me, and I've got confirmation after confirmation after confirmation, including Brian. But like, look at my arms. Like, how funky is that? Like, I look like I could have her wings like coming down from them. And it's so weird because Joe's arms are just like mine. I always wondered when I found my twin flame, would he have funky elbows like I do, and he does.
Even I've been getting so many twin flame messages lately.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I told you last time we talked, you were talking about all these different people talking to you, and you felt like they were past life connections. Well, that's going to happen before you finally get to meet your twin flame.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to talk about before we start?
No, I'll do this and I'll do this now. I'm ready.
Do what?
For the session. I'm ready for the session.
Okay. Okay, so I love you, baby. So find a spot that is directly in front of you that you can stare at without blinking, and I want you to do some deep breathing. And when you feel like you are in a calm state, close your eyes, and I will begin the countdown. I would like to set the intention that with this session, we will go back into one of Devaka's past lives that has knowledge that she could use now. So mote it be.
I just literally felt something on my shoulders right now. Oh my god.
Are you ready for me to start the countdown?
Yes.
I'm going to count down from 1 to 10. With each number, you will go deeper.
Yeah.
I seem to have lost you. Huh. I can't see you or hear you. Ah, there you are. I don't know what happened. Okay. I'm going to start the countdown. With each number, you will go deeper into a meditative trance. 10. You are going into a deep meditative trance. 9. You are going even deeper into a meditative trance. 8. Even deeper now. 7. You are going into a very deep meditative trance. 6. Even deeper now. 5. We are going into a very deep meditative trance. 4. You are going into a deep meditative trance. 3. Even deeper into a meditative trance. 2, you're going into a very deep, very calm, meditative trance. 1, you are in a trance. Now I'd like for you to visualize a long, very well lit hallway with doors on either side. Walk this hallway until you find a door that calls to you, and let me know when you reach it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you notice anything about the door, a color, or what made it call to you?
It's actually a wooden doorway, and it's pretty much tall, and looks ancient.
Beautiful. Okay, when you're ready, you can open the door and let me know what you see.
I see a desert.
Okay. When you're ready, you may step through the door. When you're through the door, let me know. Okay. First, I want you to look down at your feet
Yeah.
and see if you notice anything about your skin color, if you're wearing shoes, if not.
I'm actually kind of like really tan, and my body feels light.
Okay. Can you tell if you're a man or a woman?
I almost feel like an energy being, but I present myself in the form
Right.
of a medium. Hold on, I just noticed something different. I just feel this very. I'm a deity.
Okay.
I can't really figure out who I am. I'm just actually kind of feeling quite lightheaded right now.
Okay. Well, if you need to,
It's
take a
really
second and
intense.
kind of ground yourself.
Yeah. I can actually see bits of my past life.
Okay, what are you seeing?
So I'm actually an energy being, and that's what they call a deity. And I have the ability. Oh my god! So I am represented by a fox or a wolf. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So that's how they used to reveal me.
So you're like a
And
fox or a goat deity?
a deity, yeah, but the symbol is a fox.
A fox.
Or a wolf.
Or a wolf? Very interesting. Do you have a name?
I'm actually getting a few images right now.
Okay.
And it's almost like I'm like feeling lonely in a shrine,
Okay.
feeling trapped, and I see people. I see people walking and offering me various kinds of goods.
Right.
I want to talk to them, but I can't communicate with them. It's beyond my ability because my husband said so,
Okay.
and he told me
Very
not to
interesting.
communicate with the. He told me not to communicate with the mortals.
Right. We did get in trouble for that quite often. Can you get a time frame? Do you get a year or?
Before the pyramids, way before the pyramids,
Okay.
was when the goddess was found. They discovered the goddess from the ground,
Very interesting.
and then they started to build a civilization around it. And it was during that time. It was years before you could ever imagine.
Right.
Everything.
Do you happen to know what part of the world you're in?
Sorry?
Can you tell what part of the world you're in?
It's Egypt.
Okay. Very interesting. So, what is the scenery around you right now? Are you still in the temple?
It is it's not like the temple that you see these days or whatever that you read in books. It's not there anymore, but the energy is present
Right.
right now. You can just like feel the energy of the place, but it's almost like an open space, like an open space where they built the deities, and they kind of trap the deities there.
So you're trapped?
Yeah,
Yes.
not trapped, but like they lure the deities and they trap them over there for a period of time.
Right. Very interesting.
I feel your energy next to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
What do I look like?
You're just like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I just see this bright golden yellowish aura and light,
Right.
like a very motherly energy.
Do I have a name? If you're saying something, I can't.
I think it's the energy of Isis, but it
Okay.
wasn't called Isis earlier.
Right.
Like, whatever that they use now.
Like a
Use
set?
now. It's too intense. And I feel that I'm a part of your family.
I agree.
I'm a part of your family.
Can you ask
You're
me?
like a very, you're like a, you're not exactly my mother, but you are a motherly figure to me.
Right.
And I was almost like a loner, but I think I might have got betrothed to someone in your family,
Right.
and that's the energy of my
So like maybe you
the
married
masculine
someone
energy
in my family?
of family, and it's the feminine energy. Oh my god, this is too intense. Okay, so there's so I was a lonely feminine energy. I was
Right.
a lonely feminine energy, and the masculine energy was from your family, but you are like a mother that I never had. You get
Right.
it?
Yes.
And
Do you think maybe you married my son or something?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, from your family, definitely from your energy. Like you formed a masculine energy from yourself. It's almost like, oh my
Very
gosh,
beautiful.
I wish I can project whatever is on my head, but yeah, it's like there's a masculine forming from yours. So but I can't go deep into it. So it might be, yeah. So I think it's like one of your sons.
Can you get his name?
Sorry.
Can you get the name of my son that you married? Or ask your husband his name?
He's kind of sassy, so he just told me that I should know, and he okay, he has this really really funny hyper energy around him,
Right.
and he kind of told that I should either ask myself or I should ask you.
Is it Horace?
He just says maybe.
Yeah,
It's too
sounds
funny.
just like something a man would say.
Yeah.
Okay. So ask me what it is that you came here to learn about this life.
To ask you, right?
Yes.
To unite and to unlearn.
Right. That makes sense.
What does that mean?
You said to unite and to unlearn.
To unite and to yeah.
Maybe to unite yourself with this past or this soul fragment that we are discovering in this life, and maybe to unlearn some programming, like the programming that you are not a goddess or a deity, that the world programs us.
Yeah.
And probably to learn about your twin flame, I would assume. can you find out if this being that you are married to in this life is your twin flame or soulmate?
Yeah, we were created for each other.
Yeah.
And that was through you. You created him for me.
Yes. Beautiful. And that goes right along with what I've been being downloaded about Horus.
Yeah. And and you know, my symbol, right? The fox or the wolf. So
Right.
I still can't figure it out. I had researched maybe. And it has a lot of tails.
Right. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many different meanings.
Yeah.
But maybe it means that loner energy that you said you had for a
Totally.
while. The lone wolf.
Yeah.
So can you walk around this place that you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do that and see if anything is you're drawn to anything?
Yeah. Let me. I see lilies for some reason.
Well, it is Egypt, so that makes sense. We revered the lilies.
Oh, really?
Yes, with the lotus, the lily, they're interchangeable in the ancient Egyptian culture. So they would lots of times call the sacred blue lotus a lily.
I never knew that.
Are they white lilies or blue lilies? I'm getting like the lily
Blue.
of the valley,
Like they were like purple, blue, purple.
right? Yeah, those are all over the ancient Egyptian pictographs. Sacred plant. I feel like if you were to order some of that online and make a tea out of it or smoke it, that
Yeah.
it would be really good for you.
Oh, right.
Now, I've done it before and it was
I actually see myself crushing the leaves.
right. You making medicine out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they used it for all kinds of stuff back then. They used it for opening the third eye.
And there's something
gag.
about me, and it's helping me to unite with my soul, like
Yes.
my extended family in every life.
Right? Your star family.
Yeah. The lily. It's like, I don't know. I think I'm making some kind of like herbal enchanted medicine. But I'm just telling to myself that it's going to connect me with my star family
Right.
and with someone who I'm meant to be with.
Right. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And yeah. Oh, so I think the husband was very protective of me,
Right.
very like overprotective, and that's why he did not want me to communicate with other human beings
Right.
because he thought that they could manipulate my energy and make me vulnerable.
Right.
So there was only a special kind of ritual that where they had to go through him to reach out to me.
Right. He was almost like your gatekeeper.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You know, that's actually why we created the divine masculine, was to protect us.
Oh, okay.
So that makes perfect sense.
Oh. Yeah.
See, most people don't know it, but the goddess, she could procreate by herself. You know?
Oh my god, I'm actually Having tears in my eyes, but you can see it.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
It's like
beautiful.
intense.
So is there anything
And
else?
I actually recognize all the family. I can recognize all of my family, my twin flame, everybody just by the eyes.
Right,
Yeah,
because they're the windows to the soul.
yeah.
So next time you come across someone that you think maybe your twin flame, look in his eyes. Your soul will tell you.
Yeah, so like even the family, extended family. It's funny that Horus, whoever it is. Oh yeah, like the energy that you created. You created my twin flame. Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you're one of my star sisters.
Yeah,
Like maybe we came here together.
yeah. And you're protective of me. Very
Yes.
protective. Like a
Yeah,
motherly
like you're my little sister.
Yeah. And you are the one who created this twin flame. You gave birth to the twin flame in
Right.
Egypt.
They're saying that I used your DNA to create him.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, you're welcome.
So it just tells me, it just asks me to look into his eyes, into your eyes, so into anybody's eyes.
Right.
Recognize him. Because all of us apparently have a similarity, and that's the eyes.
Yes, absolutely. And I definitely noticed that about you the first time I seen your picture. Like you look like soul family to me. And there was an immediate connection there, you know.
Yeah.
So see if you can find out anything about your galactic origins. Like
But, yeah?
yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
See if you can find out anything about your star origins. Like ask me if I'm still there, ask your soul. Like where did you come from before you came to Earth?
It connects me, actually, it connects me with the draconian,
Draco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Draconian, and that's why you're actually very protective of me, because apparently there are tiers, like different type of tiers
Right.
with draconians, like reptilian energies,
Right.
and most of them are misunderstood. Like, you know, there's apparently manipulative energy out there, but some of the greatest energies are formed from there, but they are manipulated and they are killed.
Right.
And since you knew that you knew that about me, so that's why you were very protective, because you
Right.
didn't want anyone to hurt me.
Right. And that makes sense because I know that my soul's from Orion, but later on, lots of the Draconians, you know, they came to Orion and they lived there. So maybe that's how we met.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So instead of showing myself as a reptilian being, I just show myself as a fox or a wolf.
As a what?
As a fox or a wolf. I still can't figure out what type of creature it is.
Well, that kind of makes sense because the dragon and the wolf are two different aspects of the same coin. Like,
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
shown that the dragon and the wolf are the same being.
Yeah.
So instead of showing yourself as a fierce dragon, which could probably scare people, you show yourself as a
Yeah.
wolf. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh. Yeah, and that's why he used to protect me a lot. my twin flame,
Right.
because it was just my extended family and him who knew the secret. But both of y'all used to take care of me.
Because he was afraid if anybody found out what you really
Sorry?
were. He was afraid if anybody found out what you really were that you would be killed. Because
Yeah.
they use the Draconi as a scapegoats. They blame everything on us.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Actually, yeah. When I gave my first healing, like while I was practicing the healing, I just looked into the mirror. I mean, not here, but like actually here, like in this present life,
Right.
and I saw myself as scales for
Right.
me, and I was white, like white
Right.
scales for me. And I was a bit taller, and I kind of looked like a dragon.
Right.
Yeah. While I was healing, I tune into that energy, like my original energy,
Right.
and that's my original energy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, did you? Can you find out if you died in this life?
I didn't actually die, but it was almost like I see flames. So I see the flame of the energy of like the husband being transmuted into flames,
Mm-hmm.
and I join that flame, and then it kind of like disappears from there.
Like maybe
So
you
it
guys
wasn't like a
ascended.
physical. It wasn't like a physical death.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe like a rebirth.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And with Horus being the sun, that makes perfect sense.
Oh. Oh my gosh. This is too intense. Oh my gosh. I can feel his energy. It's too intense. All right.
So, is there anything else that you're supposed to learn while you're here?
You're talking to me actually.
Okay.
I'm just asking energy, and you say that. You're like, as I said, just unite and unlearn. You have to unite because you're asking me not to be afraid of whatever that's going to happen, but you're just asking me to unite for the sake of the family and for the
Ask
identities that we are supposed to preserve.
that we are supposed to what?
Preserve. We are supposed to be preserving some identities.
Right.
So I should unite. I don't know what that means, but
With yourself or with your twin?
not with myself because apparently I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready. And I have to, with my twin flame and with my family. So
Okay.
this is intense. I might just fall down now. All right.
Are you ready to come out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's too intense.
When you're ready, you can open your eyes and start moving around. And That was so fucking cool. Super cool. So I think we both got some answers there.
That was it. I literally went to like fall off my bed.
Yeah, you were blushing when you were talking about him.
Really? Well, can you remember?
That was really awesome. So how do you feel about all this new information?
Oh my god, I'm still coming back to this life.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'll give you a few.
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, this is too intense.
I mean, that energy is probably going to stick with you for a while.
Yeah.
Because, the twin flame energy is really your energy, but I know how intense it can be, believe me. And that's why a lot of people run from their twin, because they're like, this is too intense. I can't do this, But that's what we're supposed to do this lifetime. We're supposed to unite with our twins. Because we can't bring about heaven on earth. We can't, ascend fully without them.
Yeah. It's true. Wait, who's my twin flame? What happened? Wait, what happened? What was that?
Well, good thing we recorded it this time. I can send it to you. So you can watch it back as many times as you need to.
Yeah. Just move here.
Your face, you're still blushing.
Oh my gosh. And I don't blush easily.
That was so awesome.
That was intense.
Yeah, I could feel it too. Like I kept getting lightheaded. And like as you would blush, like my face would blush.
Actually, whoever does a healing on me, like right here physically, like over here at the healing centers, they actually put my session, like they actually, like if they know that I'm going, like this one of like the greatest healers in Sri Lanka. So whenever she wants to, whenever I book a session, she actually cancels her other appointments and puts my name and make sure that it is the last appointment of the day. And then it's almost like she's high after
Right.
a session. She's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've had that happen to people too.
It happened. What was that? Seriously.
That's so funny because like ancient Egypt has been coming up and coming up and coming up. I've got a great meditation for you. It's a 4-part meditation that I'm going to send to you, and I feel like that's going to help you kind of integrate these energies and these new memories.
Yeah. Wait, who's my twin flame?
I think you probably know who it is.
You.
I mean, if that wasn't confirmation, I don't know what was, Oh, let's see what this other card is. King of Swords. I think I'm going to read this out of Golden Dawn. Okay, so that's one cups. Swords is the king in the beginning or the end? the back then. Yeah, they are. King of Swords, Lord of the winds and the breeze, King of the spirits of air. A winged warrior with crowned and winged helmet, mounted upon a brown steed, with his general equipment is that of the King of Wands, but he wears a crest of a winged six-pointed star, similar to those represented on the heads of Castor and Pollux, the Draconsori, the twins, Gemini, a part of the constellation that he rules. He holds a drawn sword with the sigil of his skill in its pommel. Beneath his horse are dark, driving stratus clouds. He is active, clever, subtle, fierce, delicate, courageous, skillful, bit inclined to domineer, also to overvalue small things, unless well dignified, ill dignified, deceitful, tyrannical, and crafty. He rules from 20 degrees Taurus to 20 degrees Gemini. Fire of air, king of the Syphils and Salaphids. King of Swords represents the Yod, fire, force of the Tetragrammaton, and the element of air. He symbolizes the violet, fiery power of movement applied to the least stable of the elements. He is the furious storm and the eye of the hurricanes. The king is also the visualizing power which lies behind the astral realm of image and inspiration. The first spark of intellectual inspiration. His energy is swift and agitating. He aggressively slices his way through the clouds. The qualities of the King of Swords are bravery, skill, and great mental power, but he can also be indecisive and too easily sidetracked. The King of Swords is a dark, bearded knight with brilliant violet wings and gold armor. His sword is held in an attitude of attack. His mount is his aggressive warhorse, who has some of the characteristics of the black horse belonging to the Knight of King of Wands. The personal emblem of this king is the winged hexagram, which refers to the reconciling of opposite energies. One of the functions of air. The background color is orange, formed from the mixture of red and yellow, the colors of fire and the elemental air. What's your sign? Pisces. Very interesting. I'm just going to look this one up in my other book. So, waters, cups, pentacles. Oh, and let's go a little different than the other one. That's cups, swords. That's the knight, queen. That's so funny. Okay, so in my Shapeshifter Tarot, it's Goddess of Fire, Bridget. Okay, night before last, when I did my wound healing ceremony, I called upon the Goddess Bridget.
Oh my God.
So you're a fire goddess is what you are. The Goddess of Fire, Bridget. Keywords: creative flame, renewal, empowerment, insight. Bride of Nature, representing the sacred and eternal flame, is the Goddess of Fire, Bridget, who is the daughter of the Dagda the good god of the Tithua deity Anan. Ancient Irish fire goddess of culture, fertility, cattle, and crops, she rules all household arts, smith's craft, medicine, poetry, and wisdom. As the goddess of perpetual fire and healing, the flame of Bridget's fire was fed with the wood of the hawthorn and never allowed to go out. On Bridget's day, symbolic that all household fires were allowed to die down so that they could be relit by a branch or a coal of the sacred need fire. The goddess of fire appears holding a flaming arrow in her human hand. Like the cougar, she is known for her leadership and skills in perception. Her long, honey-colored hair, streaked with red, brown, and black, flows and weaves into the fur of the powerful animal. She's a half woman, half cougar. Her skin appears to be on fire, yet the fire does not burn her. Symbolic of the world tree, a mighty oak frames the background, while the shape-shifting woman pours out from the flesh of the tree behind her, emerging from a swirling cloud of gold, orange, and red hues. A molten steam flows from the base of the oak, and the cougar woman rises out of its natural fire pot from the very core of the earth, where the energies of nature spring forth. Bridget is Danu's daughter, by the way. Okay, prophecy. The goddess of fire represents a powerful woman who is comfortable with her own sexuality and strength. She is keen, warm, and cautious, and quick-witted, and can teach the ability to counsel and consult others with wisdom, while also showing you how to seek the advice and knowledge of others when necessary. Drawing this card marks the need to cultivate the impersonal observer, the all-seeing mind, focused on clear, objective, and centered thoughts. Whether you are a female or a male, you need to integrate your inner feminine qualities and release the creative energies of the fire goddess within. Dare to remember who you really are, demonstrating your abilities and talents. The goddess of fire holds the sacred and elemental flame that penetrates matter and forms it, often cutting through the illusion of life. Fire can be a powerful ally or weapon, depending on your intention and use. Wow. So that goes in perfectly with you seeing your twin being the flames and you going into the flames.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Right?
Especially the flames, yeah.
Yeah. And the meditation I'm going to send you. Isis coddles you in her wings, and she puts the sun in your stomach and a flame in your heart and a flame in your eyes, and then she sets you on fire so that you can rebirth.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like, I never knew about all of this, and I was, oh my god.
Right?
How did I know?
You look like so confused, but yet happy at the same time.
Yeah.
And I totally get that feeling, because when I first started to wake up, I used to feel like that all the time. Like I was turning around in circles, but I was just like so ecstatic about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I used to ask the gods, I'd be like, y'all must think I'm adorable when I'm confused, because you guys confuse me all the time. I feel like they were chuckling at me, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to end the session, but after I get done this afternoon, I've got to go help my mom clean the lodge here in town. If you want, I can call you and after you do your meditation and kind of come back to yourself, and we can talk about it more.
Yeah. Oh, and I actually want to know, do you know any rituals to cut cords with someone, with some me, whatever, like from my past life. I mean,
Yes.
it's not for me, but it was for my friend, but I just
You can
felt the
actually
need
do
to ask
that
you.
for her, or you can, tell her how to do it. But the way I always do it is I picture like my arms being scissors. And
Yeah,
I cut the cords. And as soon as you cut that cord, a million are gonna like grow back. And you just gotta keep cutting them and cutting them and cutting them until they go away. But I'll also look up a ritual for it too.
yeah, because it was pretty intense. Like, I actually do the pendulum now. Like, I talk to spirits and everything, and
Right.
it actually directed her to go to this particular house, and she goes to the house, and there was this like really crazy neighbor who started to like who was like getting at her, and then she remember like she had actually had a past life regression session with me, and
Right.
then she remembered him from a past life, and he had been following her in every life, but
Right.
she couldn't cut it. She didn't know what she was doing, and she couldn't cut the code.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a drain. They follow us
yeah,
from life to life, sucking
yeah.
our spark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
And
supposed to
she
get
has a
rid of
lot.
those.
It's not just him. There's like a lot of people, and so
Right.
far, and I feel that he's like the last person that she has to cut
Right.
the cords with here.
If you want to, you can send me her picture and I'll work on
All right,
that
yeah,
for
sure.
you.
All right, yeah, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. And after I get back, I'll message you and call you, okay?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
All right. Love
I'm
you,
going
honey.
to come back to Earth right now. Yeah.
Right. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Right.